Hello, welcome back to my Blender journey. I'm Michael, and I'm going to sculpt something today. Maybe try and go a little bit further. Trying out with microphone because everybody was asking for it. Not microphone, camera. If you can't tell, I don't know how to talk. So let's start with a sphere. Let's start, hit 5 to go into sculpt mode, turn on symmetry, and I don't know what I'm going to hit G. I don't know what I'm going to be modeling today. I think maybe I'll do like an ogre or something. That way I don't have to like use any sort of reference. I can just kind of like draw, kind of like sketch out what I think an ogre should look like. They kind of don't have a neck. I think they're a little bit bigger. Probably be like a nice stylized face. Oh, I gotta change my view. If I can click on that. Let's go to 100. Which takes out a lot of the distortion. So let's hit M for mask, S, scale that down a little bit. Mask that, Control I, G, S for scale, pull out some big old ogre ears. This might be fun because I'm not concerned about proportions as much. Okay, so let's get some more geometry. Shift R. Let's go down to I think like 0.04, somewhere around there. Control R. Okay, Shift D. Let's start eating away at some geometry here. G. Start sculpting some geometry. Let's give them like a pointy ear. I don't know if ogres have pointy ears, but they do in this. This might just end up being a generic monster of some sort. Let's go to the front view and start laying in some eyeballs and some landmarks where we can start putting stuff. Let's go D to start pulling some geometry out. I think what it's going to end up being is like a very exaggerated form, bones and features. Let's eat out some of this section here. Might need a bigger chin area to go with that big nose. Actually add some horns too. I don't know what creature this is going to be, but I think I'm going to add some a cylinder. Scale it up. 1 to go into edit mode. Alt C to add edge loops, and then you can come down here and add a few more edge loops. 2 to go into, and then hit W to select your movement thing again. 2 goes into the edges, and then R scales those. So I'm going to hit B to do proportional scaling, and let's try and make a horn here. You can also hit 0, and then if you hit 0, it'll all just go there. And then let's scale it up. Okay, it's 5. G, we're going to put our proportional editing, and we can sculpt this horn a little bit. Actually, I want more geometry because I think I'm going to, let's remesh this. Because I think I kind of want it to curve. I'm just using G right now to shape this horn. Using my mouse because okay, it's kind of cool. Because sometimes I can get better control with my mouse on stuff like this. It's just quicker. Okay, so I'm going to hit 1, Control A, and I've done, oops, 1, Control A. What is going on over here? Oh, you know what? I know what I have to do. Object, apply all transformations. Object, set origin to geometry. Now it's still in the center. Now I can go 1. Now I can move it over to the side. Scale it down a little bit. Start trying to place it here. Let's add the mirror modifier. It's gonna be like a devil. I guess it's like a demon. So no orc, whatever. Not all devils. Not everything that has a horn is a devil, but I guess maybe it will be in this. Okay, so let's go back into sculpt mode so we can kind of bring this down to where we want it. Now I have switched back over to the tablet. So as I do more and more of these, it starts to feel kind of like sketching, right? Because I've been sketching for years. But this, the way this blender, this sculpting works, I mean, especially when you have a tablet, obviously. Do I like that? Kind of want it to be more forward, like this. Just doing this in edit mode. Yeah, I kind of like it more like this. Kind of more of like a goat look. Okay. Go back to sculpt mode, G, scale this a little bit, just so I can move these horns around. And then I will go back to the head, 5 to go into edit mode, Alt-C gives me the clay strips, and I'm going to start building this up around this horn area. Maybe they have some sort of like underlying bones or something. I don't mind to know. I'm not a demon physiologist. Shift-E. I need more geometry. I think we're going to add some eyeballs in, some more geometry. Definitely needs a big mouth because he's going to have some big tusks. And I think I need more jaw. His head's kind of got away from me. That's what you get when you don't work from reference. Alt. What is that? Control Alt C gets me this. Man. Smooth that out a bit so I can. Shift-D, that's okay. I need more geometry. Shift R, let's go down to 0.0, I think it's 0.09 is the next level I like. Something like that. Control R. Okay, and I'm going to hit 4 to go out of, I'm going to go back into object mode. Shift-A, well, Shift-A adds a sphere. That's not part of the industry compatible key mapping. I have added that later. So there's ways to do it. So I'm just, I think S, what is it? Control, oops. Alt S, Shift S, I don't know. I keep hitting the snap on somehow and I can't remember how I keep doing that. I have to look that up. Okay, we know the drill. Let's put this eyeball in here. Let's add the mirror modifier. His head's a little bit wide, but he is going to be a big wide dude. So I don't know. Maybe his head's not wide. Okay. Shade smooth that. Okay. Start smoothing some of this out a little bit. I got some major landmarks in. I can start adding a little bit of detail and adjusting how things look. He needs a much bigger skull area. There's like no skull area. I wonder if I could start building. It's too big. Start building some of this out here. I definitely like switching from mouse to pen, whatever is more convenient. Alt Control S is this polish brush. Shift Alt Smooth down. Again, if you're industry compatible, or using industry standard key map, I don't know many people who are showing you how to do stuff with the industry standard keys. It took me a little while to try and figure them all out, and even now I watch Blender videos and I have to kind of figure out how to do some of this stuff because there's no shortcuts for it, or I don't know what they are. Sometimes like if I'm let's say I have a cube, right? and I want to drag this vertice along the edge, like do an edge slide. I can't do GG because that doesn't do anything, because G doesn't drag. G does nothing. G repeats processes. So if I was to extrude this, if I hit G, it would repeat it, because that's the industry standard thing. So if I want to do an edge slide, I actually have to, what is it? It's not, I don't do it very often. I actually have to go to, I have to select it, and I go to vertex, and then slide vertices, and then I can slide vertices like that. So edge, oh, there it is, edge, oh no, that's edge slide, this is vertex slide. Slide vertices, and then I can slide vertices on the different angles. But so that's the same thing with an edge slide. If I wanted to edge slide this, I have to do that. So there's no like GG quick command. I guess you can go like this. Click edge and then hit G, but it's still kind of hokey. So eventually maybe I can do a more custom key map, but I haven't got around to that yet. So let's make this guy a little bit more evil. Going on with these lips. I'm gonna mask it. I hit M to mask it so I don't affect this area, because I want to get into those lips and figure out what's going on with them. Shift, let's see, Alt Control S. Let's just polish those bad boys down a little bit. Very like kissy kissy. I do want the lower lips to jut out a bit though, because I want to add in some tusks. And maybe I should add in some tusks so I can work around it. I wonder if I duplicate this. And then I go to G, holding shift down to kind of smooth that out. Got some nice meaty tusks. Scale it up a little bit. Rotate. Whatever. We'll see what happens. think tusks typically sit closer to the kind of like rub against the upper lip area. So I gotta bring these in, I gotta make them something like that. Okay. Shifty. Let's scale this down so that we can kind of lay in where the mouth goes, edge of the nose. Stick in some nostrils here. Huge demon nostrils. G. Okay. Oops, Shifty. Okay, this is going to be a fast video because there's something I want to do to show something I learned recently. I mean, it's already not a fast video, but so this is gonna like kind of like gotta go around these bad boys. Shift B to inflate. Let's inflate those lips. And then let's knock them back a little bit with our polish brush, or what is it called? Keep forgetting scrape. Shift D. I've tried ZBrush on several occasions over the years. But again, I had the same problem with why I could never really get into Blender in the first place, and it was their key mapping, and they just handled. I don't know. It was a very weird way that they handled it, and I know users of ZBrush will defend it, you know, till their grave. They'll die on that hill. But for those of us moving over to Blender from a traditional software like Maya or something, it wasn't very intuitive. It wasn't intuitive at all. And so it's like there's no sympathy for people in that situation. It's just like, well, just learn the software. But it got to a point I would try it and I just couldn't get past certain ways that it dealt with things. So with this new Blender 2.8 and how they've handled everything and how they've, you know, came out with this key mapping and I don't know, the way that they handle sculpting is just so appealing for people like me who have tried stuff like that in the past but have never like been able to get over certain aspects of it. And that's a failing on my part, and I'm sure with more work at it, I would get it. I can figure it out because I've had to do that with a lot of things. But the problem is I don't do this for a living. I don't do 3D modeling for a living. It's more of just always something that I've wanted to get good at for myself. I've never really explored doing it for a living, to be truthful. It's just I've done design work and websites and illustration, and you know, that's been fine for me. But I think there's a part of me that always wants to see what I can do with 3D. Okay, let's mirror this on the z-axis. Oops. Z global. And then let's bring that up. And if you get nothing from these other than this eyeball technique, this eyeball technique is awesome, in my opinion. It's not mine. I saw it on some Instagram. I don't even know. I can't even remember who it was. But it was like a really sped up video. You know, they don't on Instagram. They just speed it up, and so it's kind of like I had to watch the video like 100 times just to. That's an exaggeration, but I watched it several times. And I was like, "What is he doing here?" And so I kind of analyzed the video to see what he was doing. And it's like night and day, man. Let's do this. Let's apply it, and then let's actually join these two. And then 5, let's go into remesh. Let's go to Shift R, Control R. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have joined them. But whatever. How do you solo one of these? What if I make it into a new collection? I move that in there and then I turn off the collection. I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do that is, actually. I'll have to look it up. This is why I'm saying I shouldn't have joined them before remeshing. Because now I have to worry about both sides of it as I'm sculpting it. Oh well. You know what? Not oh well. See the strength of these undos. Let's see how many we got. All right. Okay. So those are both applied. Let's go into 5, Shift R, 0.08, whatever, 4, 5, Shift R, 0.0, whatever. Okay, 5, X. All right. Five, go into this one. Four, 5. Dig out this eye a little bit. Oh man. A selects everything, the whole scene. It kind of. F focuses on your object and gets you back to. Sometimes my hands slip. That's normal. Okay, so I'm going to select these two. This one, right click, join, hit 5, remesh. Good enough. Let's start smoothing out some, oops. Let's just to be safe on the safe side, let's symmetrize, because I don't know what's going on. Okay. And then we will start to smooth this area out. Smooth these little geometry out. Shift D, let's add some. This demon is a worrywart, so he's always worried about what souls he's going to eat. I just want something that I can show everybody what I'm talking about. This cool thing that I found out about. Let's give him some neck muscles. Looks pretty mean, right? He's just basically a stylized male figure. That's all it is, right? I'm just trying to hurry here. Not that anybody's watching this, but I've seen my new YouTube numbers. I know nobody watches these. It's okay. Okay, let's see what this is doing. Yeah, this nose is too smooth. Ooh, I could use my cool brushes on this. Whatever. I think I have a little bit of a perfectionist in me sometimes, even though I'm like, oh, I'm going to end this right now. And like see other things. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do this before I end it. Okay, so we're going to just stop with the sculpting right there, just so I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Control, what? That's not working. File, save. Let's do day 5. Demon. Okay. Now we're going to click on it. We're going to go to quad remesh. I don't know. Let's just try 5,000. Let's see what happens. No, this is called sphere. That's the name of this. Percentages down below. getting hot in here. Oh man. 75%. So what's going to happen is, okay, it made a new retoposphere. So let's take a look at that retopology. Look at that loop around the mouth, loop around the eyes, ear loops. It's pretty good. So if I right click and shade smooth, you can see I lost a lot of detail. So what we do is we add a multi-resolution modifier, I believe, subdivide it a couple times, and then we add a shrink wrap modifier. And then we choose the original sphere, okay? And then we go project, and it messes everything up, then you hit negative. So now, this is the retopologized one, and this is the original one. Pretty close, pretty close. So what we can do now is I can apply that. And then I can go in and sculpt on this, right? And I can sharpen things up a bit. And the advantage here is that all of this geometry is a lot better geometry. So if I hit 4, go back to object mode, then go to edit mode. Look at all that. Look at that geometry. That this is. If I go to the original one and I go into edit mode, look at that. Okay, so you can see the difference having that versus this. So I'm still learning about things, but I thought that was really cool. Again, that quad remesher is like a paid plugin, but it's really nice. So I'm going to end it there, and then I will see you on the next one, hopefully, or not. I don't know, whatever. Bye.